Jack had just opened his eyes and found himself witnessing the birth of his brother. This completely shocked him. Not long ago, they were still human. Jack was a victim of a subculture. He was obsessed with the most popular female celebrity at the time. To get closer to his idol, he would go to the bathroom every day, change into clothes just like his idols, and with years of practice, he could skillfully make himself look just like her. At that moment, Alan was outside using a steel ruler to pry open someone's car window, unaware that Jack had recorded the whole process. As Alan was about to grab the phone, Jack quickly ran off. By the time Alan caught up with him, Jack had already changed back into his male clothes and was standing in front of the Kappa statue, praying. Alan found him there and, upon looking at Jack's phone, assumed that Jack had some connection with the girl. Furious, Alan didn't want to let Jack off and rushed at him with the ruler. Then, there was an explosion, and an unbelievable event occurred. Jack found himself suddenly transported into a classroom. Seeing the box under his feet, Jack thought he was dreaming. But things got stranger when Alan unexpectedly transferred to Jack's class, and both of them were confused. During the break, strange noises would occasionally come from the hallway. They didn't know why, but they often ended up making odd movements that seemed like the behavior of a Kappa. The most important thing was, they both loved cucumbers. While munching on cucumbers, they suddenly realized that someone was calling them. So, they set out to find the source of the sound. Eventually, they traced it to the Kappa statue they had broken earlier. They believed everything had happened because they had shattered the statue, which had caused a curse. The sound grew louder, and suddenly, purple gas began to pour out of the statue. With another explosion, a creature emerged from it. It was a white Kappa, tapping its head with a cucumber. The strange noises they had been hearing were caused by this Kappa. The white Kappa introduced itself as the prince of the Kappa kingdom and said it had summoned Jack and Alan to help. Alan refused, stating he didn't want to help a frog. The Kappa prince was very angry and, in a fit of rage, ripped off their kokoro, a metaphorical organ representing desire, turning them into Kappas. Now transformed into Kappas, they found themselves in another world. In this world, they could see humans, but humans couldn't see them. The prince wanted to experiment on someone, and they happened to encounter Jack's classmate, Jim. When Jim saw the prince, he called him a big frog. Thus, Jim was also transformed into a Kappa. The prince explained that the kokoro was the organ of human desire, but in the Kappa world, there were Kappa ghosts who would collect human kokoro and feed it to zombies. Humans whose kokoro was eaten would lose their desires. To prevent their kokoro from being consumed, the three of them had to act quickly and recover their kokoro. However, their fighting tactics as Kappas were unusual. The box zombies were no slouches either, and they nearly defeated the three of them in just a few moves. To defeat the box zombies, they remembered that the zombies were afraid of water, so they attacked with water. When the zombies were splashed with water, they lost the ability to resist. After defeating the zombies, they worked hard to recover their kokoro. Then, they had to find a way to leave. After the kokoro was taken out, the zombies' desires were revealed, causing the zombie to feel shame and choose to commit suicide. But after the main body died, the kokoro would quickly melt. They had to get the kokoro to the prince, but since the journey was too far, they couldn't make it in time. They decided to use the 6G wireless network to send the kokoro to the prince as quickly as possible. However, during the process, their desires would be exposed. Jack's cross-dressing was revealed, and Alan's thief identity also came to light. It so happened that Jack encountered Alan that day. At first, Alan thought Jack was a female celebrity, but when Jack tried to escape, he accidentally revealed his underwear, exposing his true identity. The reason Jack dressed as a woman was to gain attention online. After their desires were revealed, the kokoro was swallowed by the prince, and the three of them returned to normal.